An absolute beating on Inferno was not quite what we expected, as we did see Splyce able to put together several series of rounds against SK, but that was not the story today, as they teed off against Liquid and pretty much got stomped on. So we give them another chance, though. We get to go into another map now, and maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for them here. Guys, we're going into Train.
But maybe Liquid is a better team than SK, because they've beat them the last 2 times they've played them on LAN.
I mean,
but maybe that's not true because it's an online match.
What could possibly be worse than a 16-0, though?
Getting 16-0'd twice in a row?
Yeah, okay.
Or getting 16-0'd by an arguably worse team?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think this will be closer. Matches tend to get more towards the average as you play more, right? Like, if you play 16-0, it's not going to happen twice in a row most of the time. Because something weird will happen.
Averages, right?
Yeah.
Around the 6th or 7th round within a match, something changes. What's the law there, Jordan?
I was trying not to talk this segment.
Okay, outstanding. So anyway, back to James and I over here.
It's Skatheory, as we called it.
Skatheory, yeah.
Skadoodle has a theory that at 7-0, you always lose that round. So it goes 7-1. Or if it's 6-1, it'll go 6-2. Like the other team, whoever's not in the lead, will get that round.
Like people start to adapt and figure it out at that point.
7-0, it's the 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
So currently the scoreline is 0-0. And I'm going to have to ask you guys, what do you think the outcome of this match is going to be?
I think Liquid will win. And I think predicting scores is kind of a weird thing to do because there's pistol rounds, which can add or subtract many rounds for a match. But I think it'll be not too close, but it won't be as much of a stomp as last time. No, it's not. I think Liquid will win.
Well, but I'm not going to give my prediction.
I think what you're saying is one of these teams will get to 16 rounds.
Yeah, one of them will win, I think.
One of these teams will win. But in order for that to happen, we have to have the guys that really do put it out there and illustrate it for us all. That's Blue. That's Launders. You guys can just have it from here.
You guys can whip it out.
Well, I don't know about that, but we will be jumping into the game here in just a second, as I believe it is live. So let's go into it, as it's going to be Splyce versus Liquid once again here on Train.
Cool. Yeah, this is right into the pistol round. Liquid definitely have an advantage on this map. Their Train is a lot better than Splyce's. Splyce does play this map, though. They have tried to adopt it into their map pool. I think it'll be interesting to try to dissect exactly why it is that Liquid's Train is a little bit better, and obviously there is always the opportunity for an upset to occur.
Twist is going to be backing away now after he does spot across there. Players from Splyce moving in and taking a 3-man control over here at Ivy. The smoke is going to go over towards the other side. It still lets Twist speak out to a small degree, but he's taking a risk in doing that, so he really can't go all the way out. As obviously, for one, he's going to jump into the Molotov when he does that, and 2, he can more likely just be instantly headshot if he's not careful. Like that from Drone as he spins around to take down Nitro. Very well done. Twist as well almost is able to escape further back. Finally, something strikes back from the CT side as Elige is going to be able to take down Roka. They've got a little bit more of a way to recovery here, as unfortunately they're losing players. They're just dropping like flies, it would seem. Elige able to get some decent damage on a Drone, but he's also got to be careful of the sandwich angle, as there's another player hiding out there. Very focused on finding Drone right now, but it's going to be Drone that finds him and wins the pistol for Splyce to start off on Train.
Obviously a huge round for both Drone and Davey. 3 and 2 kills apiece. Nice Ivy hit to take the bomb site, to take the A bomb site, and Ivy is a really interesting choice. Sometimes the USPs can make it too difficult to try to peek down, but that's why they send someone to the other side to make it so that USP can't feel too comfortable just hanging on to one angle, knowing that Ts can pop out from either. Now we have the second round, an anti-eco. Let's see if Liquid can get the better of Splyce as they try to perform an inner push, but after not seeing anybody rushing inner, have fallen back and are now receding to outside.
Semphis is going to be wrapping with the rest of the team here as they head towards the box halls to get ready for an inner execute. And unfortunately for Team Liquid, they all seem to be wrapping the other way towards outside here right now, which is going to leave this site entirely open for a Splyce take in just a second here. Out comes the flash and the realization probably in a moment, more so for Stanislaw and the others, that, well, this is probably an inner hit, so he made the wrong choice. And now Splyce will take full control, and Liquid unfortunately won't be able to do much about it besides just posting up at exit angles.
Splyce kept it simple. I believe Semphis actually ate that grenade head on, but because he was just walking with his teammates and Liquid thought that, okay, we don't see anyone, we don't know if we've done any damage, let's try to rock it back to the outside site and see if this stack will pay off. Oh, wow. JDM really blending into the back of the Train.
Hiding in plain sight.
There's been a lot of that recently. But Liquid were intent on getting information pushing Ivy right after they had pushed Inner, and after not seeing anybody, wanted to keep their strategy very fluid. No pun intended.
Liege will end up falling back here after at least one player finally dies. I think to the bomb explosion, actually. And Nitro will get that second kill, too, against Davey. So overall, Splyce leaves 2 players in that round, but they still close out. Unlike the last map where they got ecoed on this round, they are able to keep it together and establish the 2-0 lead. But Liquid still saved quite a few guns, so they're still going to have a little bit of firepower going into this third round where you would normally see players on a full save.
It's good. It keeps the terrorists in check so that they most likely upgrade to rifles as opposed to try to buy MAC-10s again, and it allows Liquid to have another opportunity to do damage in the round, which they will need to do. Otherwise, Splyce will have two successful anti-ecos in a row.
This has allowed as well for Liege to already tag down Drone for about half HP, a little bit lower than that, actually. As now the others will... Oh! Twist! And he's going to look for another one, but Roka gets the better of him on that re-peek there. He'll be able to take him down. Ends a very short streak, but JDM shows up. He's going to be able to get one as well. Keeps the fight even, down to a 3v3. Splyce, at the very least, are taking a lot of economy damage in this round, even if we still see them come out on top of it here. And now as they plan on outside, they'll be able to get full control here. Liquid still have quite a bit of diverse angles to look for here on the retake, though. But one of them is going to be scouted for, and that'll be Mitch finding Stanislav, trying to wrap in through T-Con here. The remaining 2 CTs basically just have to come out through normal routes here. We can see a Liege creeping in from the old bomb tunnel, and Nitro is going to come out from Z, or excuse me, ladder room in a second, but they're going to be looking for that too. Roka will take him down. Liege does manage to successfully sneak into the site, but Drone's going to take him down before he can get any kills, leading to Splyce closing out with a 3-0.
I guess it is kind of sad that I'm almost impressed that Splyce survived their 2 anti-ecos, but there's a really nice shot by Twist. But I really do like how they handled it, and their focus on T-Con, I think, made a lot of sense there. They kept it real simple, got across the site quickly as well, which I think is important, and limited the amount of, mitigated the amount of damage they took. Now we have a full rifle rounds bomb station outside T-Con, 2 players moving towards Ivy for control of it, and making sure that nobody can push Inner easily.
We do have the interplay still coming out with 2 players there from Splyce as well. They're not going to be devoting themselves to it just yet, however, they will be holding as more than likely. This is still the lineup for your normal outside default here, and it will be kind of downgraded by to a certain degree for Splyce as they're still working with that single UMP, and Mitch also onto a Galil. They probably don't have any excess money behind this except for maybe on 1 or 2 players too, so this isn't really a choice just on using the remaining guns. This is more of a choice and a necessity here, so they have to be very careful to make sure that they do come out on top of this first gun round. Otherwise, they'll find themselves broken very quickly, and that will also allow for Team Liquid to start their comeback in just as quick of a fashion. Molly from Mitch is actually going to do some very decent damage onto Liege, knocks out just under half of his HP. And that will also force him outside of the ladder room, so that's going to give Splyce easy control of that. They're
taking too long to get anything done. It's 45 seconds, and they haven't actually got control of anything. They're pushed into brown halls, but they haven't made their way up Ivy at all. They haven't pushed anyone off Ivy. They have baited out utility, but they themselves don't have much to work with. A single smoke, so if they want to go outside, it would be quite limited in the way that they can attack the site.
Well, now we do begin to see Splyce finally moving in with about 30 seconds remaining on the clock. First off is ladder room control, but shortly after that we have players pushing up the speedway to get themselves into this A site. As they move towards it though, Nitro and Liege instantly shutting down 2 players. Liege even finds a second, he'll now go for his third, and he gets it too, knocking out Davey. Semphis will be the last to fall at the hands of Nitro, and it's just a cleanup from Liquid at the end of the day. Splyce just can't get anything done in terms of entries.
There was actually no reason for Splyce to have taken that long to take outside, because as we see, there's not even a Z-smoke for them to work with. There's no further flashes to make sure that our man right here can't get a 3K so easily. And they didn't use their nades to fight for control of anything. They stood in the usual spots and then made sure that they couldn't get counter naded, which was good, but used way too many nades in response. Typically, if you're going to bait out grenades, you should be using, 1 smoke to bait out a bunch of utility from the CTs, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. So Splyce do look to be setting up in a very similar fashion again. 2 up on top of ladder, 1 at T-Con, and then the 2 at Ivy. Good initial nade connects on a twist for a little under 40 damage. That's going to bring him down a little bit lower. Nothing significant being done just yet, though. It's once more, just like the last round, they are for the most part running out of timer. But this time they can't even get box halls for free, as there is a player pushed into it now. JDM has the up train right on that, so if someone peeks these back halls, well, they're probably going to end up peeking right into JDM. Actually, it looks like they're moving more players towards it, too. They definitely know JDM's back here. You can see the Opera just going up, and Semphis gets a tiny little angle. You can notice that JDM wasn't even able to spot him over the top because it was such a small peak, but it works out enough for Semphis to be able to find the angle and actually just completely destroy JDM.
Well, it's definitely a nice way to get a 5v4. How are they going to drop on a Liege? Are they going to do totem pole drop? Are they going to do the double molly? It looks like they do.
That'll just force him out. They're not even really going for ladder control anyway. It's just to fake it a little bit and still make it look like they're going to go for an outer play, which does work. Does its job quite well.
I think Roka needs to either slow down here, or yeah, I mean, he just dies.
So the jig should be up pretty soon. We should begin to see those rotates, especially now that utility is being thrown onto inner. We're instantly going to see a flank being established by a Legion. He should be able to almost instantly go for these kills too. What's even worse, there's no smokes in the backside, so Stan is free to frag out here. Davey trades with one onto Nitro, and he's looking for the kill into Stan too. Gets it, keeps his team in the running, but now a Legion on the flank shuts it all down and still makes sure that Liquid come out on top.
So Roka could have been more useful simply as in the 5v4 situation, holding the ladder flank, or becoming a late lurk to take the site as they pushed into B, but instead they were rushed because Roka ends up dying first when he could have caught a rotator so easily. He could have also, even after showing up late, held the attention at A because they would want to kill him knowing that in the afterplant situation he'd still be this perpetual threat, and doing neither of that blew a 5v4. It's kind of rough. Semphis gets a really clean opening kill too on JDM, and Liquid are playing 4-1 off of that.
They get a kill. They don't even really give away a whole lot of intel besides the fact that the op had pushed back there either. So now Stan just going to go on a cleanup spree here in the back box halls. Gets 3 kills before being overwhelmed, and now JDM is just trained on this, and it's not just him either. He has additional support waiting. Imagine if he actually gets this plant. It'll be very surprising. And it looks like, oh no, the nade denies it at the last second. Nitro coming in clutch to stop Splyce from getting that extra paycheck, and now Liquid will tie it up at 3-3.
It's just good enough. You know the really difficult part? They're actually crouching under all these bullets. That's smart. The really difficult part about this is that you have a few rounds where what you did worked, or like should have worked. And to think as, you know, as you are on T side, you're running your playbook dry when your strats that should have worked don't. And that's when it gets not only frustrating, but harder, as you got to reinvent yourself in a situation where you're going to have like a long half with a lot of saves. And here, JDM looking to pick T-Con. They've used quite a bit of utility, but have hung on to 2 smokes. Are focusing on 1 choke point, though.
Liege is actually going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Tries to escape behind the smokes, but it won't work. And it's not just him either. Nitro also is eliminated. Twist finds the first trade from back here in the alley lane, and well, now he's going to lose JDM too, so the op's down on the ground. Some good entries coming in from Splyce as they go for just a quick outer play. And I'm not even sure if Liquid are even going to attempt anything. They do have 2 different angles to play for on the retake, but it's a 2v4, and they know very little about the post-plant position, so it might just end up not being worth it. We'll see, though, as it does look like they're backing away.
We definitely didn't see how a lot of those kills unfolded, but we do know there was a lot of explosivity in Splyce's take. They focused pretty much solely on T-Con, and Liquid haven't been abusing T-Con control or trying to fight for it or anything like that, or playing anybody close up, really. It was pretty much came down to JDM, and I'm not exactly sure how he went down, but the entries is what were most important for Splyce, and that might be something they can use again in the future.
I got something that works for them at least, so now it's about building upon this here and not just getting immediately reset. They started off well by, first of all, winning the round with 4 players left alive, so it's going to be minimal rebuys, probably spending about 1,000 or so for those that obviously didn't die. They're only really going to need to reinvest in the nades. But they do still have to drop the 1 AK over to Roka so that he can still remain fully equipped, and that's going to limit. Well, actually, no, it won't really limit the investment too much. It's more so just going to bring down Davies' money to under 1,000. Everyone else is still in pretty good shape, however, and that's good for these guys to build upon. But Liquid also come back striking 2. They've got a double op setup now. Pretty much everybody still has full utility except for Liege. So they're very much going to be ready to continue this fight.
This might be nice. They're actually doing the same thing twice, which I'm not totally against. Good flashes.
Completely blinds everybody on the outer side right now, and JDM's going to get the first kill. Davey getting tagged out of 22. This is not a good start for Splyce, and we're only just now seeing most of Splyce's utility being thrown into the site after the first kill has already happened here. Roka does trade, however, brings it back down to a 4v4, but it's very quickly going to change once again with Liege and Semphis both getting kills. It's staying even, though, at least into a 3v3. A bit of a rush plant for Splyce. They don't even have full control of the site right now. They do, however, have the backside and more so control over where their bomb is planted. That's what's important currently, as we see Semphis coming back out from all throw off to be able to get a kill on JDM. Knocks him out, brings the CTs down to only 2 players yet again. And in a 2v3, it doesn't seem to be worth it for Liquid to try this, so they're going to back away and save once again.
I actually like this. A very similar strat, but they just do the false exec, and they baited a lot of nades. They threw the smokes down. I think the only mistakes they made were, like, Davey dying through the smoke was because when they spammed through, they were spamming through because they assumed on the first exec, there may be a player out, but Davey's actually just supposed to lurk out, so even though he gets hit, they're very far away. I think he was better off just continuing to walk past, and he maybe would have just lived. I think if they hit him and he starts spamming through the smoke, then they think, oh, we hit him. Let's keep spamming that same spot, and that's obviously how he dies. So maybe it could have been a little bit more careful, but overall, I think the thought made a lot of sense, and it was a pretty good round from Splyce, and now Liquid actually have to save. Stanislaw has retained the kit, the nade, and armor, but everybody else is going to be just staying with their USP, has upgraded PD50, and Elige also actually saved an M4, so that might make a difference.
Well, they will pretty much gamble stack outside, except for putting JDM at the very exit of Z and the B site just to essentially call it if they do see an inner hit. Roka not wasting any time setting up utility over here to self-entry himself over there towards Ivy. The rest of the team, though, all set up with a 4-man box all set up, and it looks like most of them are just going to head out upper after Semphis smokes this out. So we'll get ready for a quick play. JDM should have spotted it, and that will call it out to his teammates, but there's nothing that he can really do from this far back. Davey actually having a little bit of trouble taking JDM out, but he does finish the job. And now with him dead, the remaining 3 in Z and the 1 other just outside of ladder room again are going to look for options to try and do damage. And actually, I like this. Look, there's a little boost up inside of Z. Let's Stanislaw see over the smoke, and he's killed at least the player that just took down JDM. Getting more than that done is going to be nigh impossible due to the weapons they're working with. Elige does have the 1M4 to try and play with, gets up on top with it, gets 1 kill, but then flanked out by Drone, and he spins up top to find a second one too before Twist can eliminate him. That'll be the death bells rolling for Liquid. They know they can't do anything else, so they're going to pull out. Stanislaw, more importantly, running away with the op. And Nitro still hanging out in the voxels here as he's going to look to see if he can get 1 more kill, and more importantly, finds this op sitting still at the top. So at the very least, he'll be able to grab that and run away.
That was so sick from Drone, pinpoint precision. That's such a weird flick too. It's like he hears exactly where it's coming from, but for him to go to somebody like top left to just up and behind him and like perfectly, that's so nuts. See, does he go up to the right or to the left? He goes to the left too, I think. Oh my god, that is so weird.
Straight to the left and up.
What a beast.
So nicely done from him. That one's definitely going to stretch out the pass pad to its limits, but manages to make it work. Gets the kill and ensures minimal damage on the Splyce in that round here. But with Liquid saves, they are able to go right back into the action again here now with the double op setup as they save 2 ops.
It's actually got the Razor Gigantus. I told him to get it. It says the best mouse pad he ever used. It's a good one. It's bigger and longer than the QCK Plus.
Oh, gotcha. Well, it's very quiet on the field again as Splyce still looking for their opening opportunities here. Not setting up any utility or anything. Liquid actually going to be a little bit more aggressive outside this time. We can see Nitro forward on the train. I believe they're pushing a guy up to E-Box too. Molly does bounce, and I believe that was a little bit of a mistake there. So Elige is instead just going to get aggressive as a second Molly is deployed. And Semphis tries to re-peek it, actually, which just gives his own life away. So the first 2 kills go easily to Liquid. There was a smoke on Ivy. That might be fading relatively soon, however. So Twist has his eyes on that, ready to dodge the flash. And actually, he's going to get caught on the way out there. Elige will trade back those 2 kills very quickly. And Nitro finds the last one, though. So the 1 death on Twist is the only one we're going to see. Besides that, it's a clean round from Team Liquid. And this will now test Splyce's economy, as they'll have to pretty much fully buy out on this rebuy.
Yep, and T-Con control works out really well because the nade lands right at the feet of Davey. So even though he turns around to fight, it's Elige has a huge advantage knowing that his opponent only has 50 health, which is really important. People don't really count how much damage or how much impact an HE can have, but especially when it's targeted like that, can have such a big effect on duels, where sometimes even 100 HP duels come down to 2 HP and that player can get a kill later in the round. You really need to count every inch that you get from your explosives.
It's a nice little way to pocket the smoke in the Molly.
Do you say Semphis re-peeked in T-Con? Like he took a shot and then peeked again?
It looked like it, yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like he swung out at least a little bit.
Seemed like he could have got away with it. Like he wanted to and probably needed to trade. Because they had to have T-Con control to go out for it, but then just honestly feel like he did what he needed to do, but he just whiffed.
It was just him and the guy in the ladder room left alive at that point, I think, in the round, so there wasn't really much left for him to do anyway. All this time, Splyce will go for the slow walk towards box halls. They won't find anything. They do make quite a bit of noise approaching it, however, so there's already going to be a second man established for Team Liquid into the site. Team Liquid actually have used quite a bit of their utility early on. They still do have 2 Molotovs and another HE, however, so that'll be decent enough to hold off any quick hits. Liege now with a molly down below, still being a little bit cautious, but he is positioned to definitely do some damage on the players coming out of upper. And that's what he's going to look to do here now as they walk right past him. There's the one, the quick swing out to get the second as he finds Semphis. Twist will grab a 3rd kill. And now Davey left alone, at least trades onto a Liege, but he's got a whole lot more work to do. And only 30 seconds as well to get that bomb onto the ground. That's not the big issue. The 1v4 is definitely the problem. And he's now going to look to try and get some kills, gets the first one, but then goes down seconds later to Nitro on the repeat from Z.
Execute was really poor, man. They had the 5v5. They set up in box halls. They wanted to hit B, but Stanislaw gets a free shot on upper, which should never happen. Not even Flash to have to unpeak. Davey's spacing is really bad here. Elish could have gone down either right away or 1-for-1, playing on that side of Swools, if Davey had just run down the ramp sooner, but instead, either through his smoke late or was preoccupied or something like that. We didn't actually get to see why, and that leaves him in a 1vx situation. So that was just overall, like, it was just finer details that really stopped them from being able to get the bomb down and win the round.
So quick smokes and other nades setup coming out here from Splyce as they're going to throw that outer very quickly. Again, a very minimalist buy here, and Elise should be able to multi-kill, but good job from Splyce actually getting into corners here before that becomes too much of a dangerous scenario. They're still pretty much doomed here, but we'll see as Elise finally does get overwhelmed after picking up at least 2 kills. Davey's allowed to get another one on Nitro, too. Doing a little bit of damage. Granted, Liquid kind of helps them out with the aggressive way that they try to play towards T-Con, but now Davey left alone in a 1v3. Doesn't even have armor behind this. Knew they picked up AK either. So he will still have to work very hard for these frags. He'll just play it nice and slow, same as he did in the last round here. Looking for the opportunities where he can get them. Definitely not overplaying his hand. He knows very well the odds that he's up against here. He's just trying to take this as slow as he can, since thankfully, that's the one ally he does have. There's still 50 seconds remaining on the clock. So in Counter-Strike terms, that's basically infinite time to play this outer site. And really try to figure out his opponents to the best of his abilities before he commits to the plant.
And for Liquid, they want to play passively. They don't want to make this a 2v1 if they don't have to. Splyce still in a lead here. Clearly a threat on the T side of Train. And Davey can't find any opponents. All the way back here in Ivy means that they're most likely going to force a plant. Oh, wow, I wonder if he could have actually... What?
He got that.
Was that?
He is not going to expect the second player, though, so there's a quick trade from Stan, but that was an impressive first kill. Yeah. I think you're right. I think he did see him when he made that little move there, and then was able to jump in and get the quick kill.
I wonder if that train is long enough that if you just like are right at the edge of it, you could just spot over and get the kill over the box. That'd be cool. But yeah, good attempt. Probably it's hard to anticipate that there's going to be another player at Ivy, and he basically fake planted to try to find that next kill and make it a 1v1. Ideal situation. Will come to fruition, but he does do some damage. Still a couple rounds left in this half. Splyce have an opportunity to win it positively, but a nice flash allows Twist to push up. He spots the bomb as well. Notices there's more players, and Davey tries to sneak out of T-Con, gets punished right away.
So a great first start here, and they're making it even greater as I believe Semphis takes a massive amount of damage trying to go back in there to retrieve something. So he's going to be down to 15 HP. Him and Roka pretty much out of the fight here now. There's just a couple bullets will knock them out. And Mitch, well, he's not looking much better off at 60 HP. Twist is able to peek back out, get another kill. He's going to take a little bit of a risk diving back as he takes a bit of extra molly damage, but still alive at 20. Nitro's going to be a little bit careful as he tosses in the smoke. And what's worse about this smoke toss is he didn't fully peek that, so he didn't actually see Mitch, which means Mitch has gotten up here completely unrealized by the CTs. And if they don't keep eyes on that, then, oh, Mitch has an open opportunity to find Nitro, but unfortunately it's not long enough. So he's not going to be able to get that kill in the last two. Try to push in, but will be shut down by Nitro and Twist, now giving the lead back to Team Liquid.
I think they're at Ivy. We just needed to have at least one person play anti-flash or for them to play passively for just 1 second, but I don't know if Splyce intended on taking it quickly for whatever reason. So maybe if that was part of the strategy, that was a good exploit from Liquid. It's hard to say exactly. You know, if that was just misfortunate timing or them not being careful enough. But either way, Liquid now take the lead. They have 2 ops, and they also have a buy. That was a critically important round for Splyce's economy, and they did get crushed on it. Half armor on all players, CZs for the whole squad, and JDM back in one of his favorite spots, holding the box. Al's kill comes out. Will he repeak? Oh, will he repeak, or will he be disciplined?
He's thinking about it.
Go for it.
He got it too, but unfortunately tagged It slows him down too much, so he's not able to escape back behind the corner again. Still 2 for 1, not going to be bad. And oh, Stan gets the double coming back in, I believe from Z over there. That's where he's able to get that kill from. Actually, no, it's right behind the train stopper here. And it looks like he got hit pretty heavily too, so he's down at 3 HP. Impressive shot nonetheless, though. And now leaves only Davey alive. He picks up the op again. Let's see, is the third player going to be the one that is able to do some impact with it? Missed shot from Stanislaw, keeps Davey alive for at least a little bit longer. But Davey's even being cautious of flanks coming out from ramp now, since he hasn't been paying attention to that prior to this point. And essentially, once again, same as the last 2 rounds, trying to play this as carefully as possible. Stan. How about Davey just gives up?
You see this big knife?
Yeah.
And here's a twofer. Oh,
Oh, they line right up.
he didn't deserve for wrecked.
So a nice easy double kill for him, and that's now going to secure the lead, which Liquid just got back 8-6 as we go into the 15th round. Splyce will have this last gun round. At least they get a full buy going here for the final round, but still no op to be seen. They do have full utility, but without that op, the firepower is still going to be in the favor of Team Liquid here.
Flash over T-Con from Davey. Ivy control once again, but instead of Liquid pushing it, they have twisted the bottom, waiting, listening as the smoke is out, but now falls out as well. Everything could be considered a fake, so they don't actually want to act off this information, but it might force a smoke or piece of utility to clear this box out. JDM, oh wow, gets another kill pushing. Oh, that was T-Con. Thought it was box halls, but we do have a fast inner flank, so they know that it's going to most likely be outer soon.
They've even wallied off T-Con too, so that's going to hold them back for a couple extra seconds. They won't be able to distract by coming out of T-Con first and then Ivy later. Ivy's actually going to be the first place they try to entry from. JDM and the Liege already killing 2 out of the 3 players. Their drone trying to trade it back, but he only gets 1. The Ivy hit is now entirely dead, and that means the bomb is down too, and it's not too much extra effort to take out the players coming in from T-Con. It's another dominant half from Team Liquid. We do see a better fight put up by Splyce this time, but it's still a 9-6 lead for Team Liquid. Stick with us to see if Splyce can bounce back in the second half, or if Liquid will go 2-0 for the evening.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And we're back once again here, folks, with our second map between Team Liquid and Splyce. Team Liquid once again starting off well here. They did actually have a bit of a slower start to this map, and it was Splyce who was the lead initially, but a long-fought battle, and we did see them come out on top near the end of it. Liquid, that is, 9-6 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, they did do pretty well. The 6 rounds within it, there was a couple of good outer executes. I think towards later of the half, we saw that it was mainly a problem of their defaults that weren't properly thought out enough that Liquid were able to take advantage of, like the T-Con control that resulted in a couple kills, the IV push that was timed properly, that was they were able to get a kill off of and fall off, and a couple of times JDM was able to pick inner. Those Emphas did kill him one time as well, can't forget that. So it was kind of a mixed bag. Fortunately, I guess for Splyce, that they did have a pistol to show for it, because I think without the pistol and 2 anti-ecos, they would have had 2 rifle rounds and 1 anti-eco, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
We get to the stats on your screen here now. Liege definitely the front runner for the entire server. We're ahead by a pretty big margin, actually, compared to everyone else. I think he's easily 50 points ahead of the next guy in terms of ADR, so that's very impressive. But We are now going live with the second half, and we get to see if Splyce's CT side can hold up here. If they can take a second pistol, then they may just be able to easily tie this game back up again. But if Liquid take it, well, then the divergence of scoreline here is going to get even greater, potentially going up to 12-6 in the favor of Team Liquid. Liquid not wasting any time either, getting all their players inside of TCon 3, that is. And a few more are going to be joining them in a second, as they do indeed send all of these guys outside. They even suspect that Roka will be inside of ladder, and now the second player has given himself away. That surprise is essentially gone to the win. Mitch going to be trying to hold an up-close battle here against Elige. Elige just ducking through him, though. Is able to dance his way out of that 1v1. Drone will trade one kill back and holds on, actually, back over here at the edge of Speedway. Gets a second now against JDM. The rest of Splyce rotating in are not going to be successful, and Drone finally goes down at the hands of Twist, giving Liquid the second half pistol.
A crazy simple outside hit that was basically a lot of people coming out TCon. Double ladder setup is no good as one player gets a kill, but that's it. And yeah, there's Twist going mad from the top of blue, getting 2 frags. A lot of that was pretty Wild West. It was just a bunch of aim duels, and now Splyce are going to not force up completely. Just this is a nice change of pace from Splyce. They're not going to force up completely. I like this. On the CT side, they aren't out of this game. Maybe they feel like, but you definitely don't need to buy half armor anymore. I don't think it's as necessary. So I really do like this, having CZs in a single smoke. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but
well, Liquid are just going to burst out very quickly here.
Should have got a head armor, Drone.
And Drone, yeah, just gets destroyed. Mitch comes very close, but he's also going to get headshot out. Roka finally trading 1 kill from Heaven, but aim punch is still going to be a little bit rough. Davey, however, able to work with it. Takes down Nitro. Still has 3 more players to eliminate. The first one's actually going to be easy here. And there's Elige going down. Now just 2 remain, both sitting behind that smoke. So Davey is going to have to change his position, as that was only recently thrown. It looks like he's going to go back, try to sneak over here towards Z. JDM currently not checking for this, but I would imagine after a decent amount of delay, he would eventually look back, since the Z flank is a very large possibility. But no, he's still not checking it. So Davey's just going to walk right out, kills JDM.
Oh, and he's going to read on this too.
Perfect position. Unfortunately, commits to the plant way too soon, so Stan is going to be able to swing out and take him down. But up to that point, very well played by Davey.
Yeah, very well played by Davey. And again, Splyce didn't spend all that much money. So, I mean, they do tons of damage. They have, and what you can do here is you can sort of buy, again, you can upgrade a little bit. Instead of investing it all in that first round, you can split it up between that round and this round, and maybe apart from your offer. So we have some upgrades come out. We have a basically $600 spent on some players, $800 on Drone, and these nades into TCon for the fast control is actually going to punish Stanislav very well. Nice.
Giving them a taste of their own medicine after the last map there. We saw that used twice against them. So finally, they get a little bit of revenge at least. Stan goes down. The rest of Liquid, however, very quickly moving in to take some inner controls. We see 2 of those guys going down ramp. Drone, however, able to strike back, and JDM's having trouble finding a target here, and he's still getting pelted down. He's down 40 HP. Makes his way up to Z at least, and the T's actually realize that inner may not be the best option, so they quickly change up their plan, head out towards the outer site, and it does work to start. But JDM now being taken down, reopens Z, and it's still a 2v4 post plant against Liquid's favor. They're going to look to close out, as they are for the most part still up against pistols, so it's a very winnable 2v4. They have to be very careful so as not to get overwhelmed here. If Splyce can get into appropriate positions, that becomes very easy for them to do against Liquid. It's a good flash, but Drone is still going to be able to swing in and find Twist.
Oh, did you see him?
Not. Nitro's going to be able to get the first kill. It takes Nitro way too long to realize his player's on top of the train. He wastes a lot of time here, though, and now knows that they're going to be near the bomb, ready to defuse it. Goes out, spots the player on top train. He does a great job of distracting, though, as Mitch gets that final kill, and now with Drone already halfway through the plant, he's going to be able to succeed in it, and Splyce will upset in the 3rd round of the half, claiming 1 round for themselves.
Look at that. They're fiscally responsible. Never thought I'd ever say that about Splyce. And they split up their buys. They did a ton of damage last round, and even here, like, Liquid could have so much more money, but off of a nice couple of P-Eagle kills from Davey, and then moving into this round, using their grenades tactically, as well as upgrading a couple of pistols because they were able to hedge their bets on the first round, and now have ecoed Liquid without even having armor, or mostly upgraded guns. Very nicely done.
So they're able to pull that off, and that will immediately cause some chaos in the Liquid camp there. You can see their buy is actually not even going to be the greatest because of the damage they took back on round 2 as well. So they never even really established enough of an economy for a full rebuy. They're on Galils, they're on CZs and Deagles again here. They only managed to get 2 AKs on JDM and Nitro. So they're in a very delicate position if they don't immediately win this force-up that they've now gone for. Very quick towards inner, but Mitch shuts them down just as quick. 2, 3 instant headshots from Mitch. Goodbye to Twist, Elige, and Nitro. And all of a sudden, it's just JDM and Stan trying to work a miracle now in a 2v5.
Damn. We might have a second round of Splyce stickers after all. That was a nice round. I definitely want to. Looking forward to watching that POV back. And Mitch just playing a spot, right? Takes a ton of damage. Knows that they're probably going to come up the middle of the site there. It was just his lane to watch. It doesn't get more complicated than that. Hits all the shots. Super efficient with that AK that he was able to take off of Liquid last round. And now, yeah, all Splyce have to stop doing is moving around too much. They've got 5 players, so there's literally nothing that they can't watch at this point. And there it is. Drones get the last few kills as well. Excellent stuff. And a full save from Liquid as well. This should be pretty nice.
So Splyce, yeah, here we go. Here's the Mitch perspective. Very quick headshots from him. And just spamming it down to make sure that he completes the frags. So I was able to do that with flying colors, and that immediately kills any hopes Liquid had of stealing back their advantage here. And now it looks like in the second half they are going to have to fight for the win. It's not going to be an easy victory anymore, especially now they have to go through these eco rounds that should bring the score over towards 9 or 10, 11 here in just a second, depending on Liquid only need this one save.
Single flash on Stan as they probably attempt to explode. Mitch is probably going to be happy to see this.
Mitch, unfortunately, only given one opportunity. It's actually Semphis doing a lot of the heavy lifting there up on top. He can't find the shot, though. Only gets the one kill, and Stan will take him down. Nitro now with the op goes hopping in. He's going to miss his shot, though, and that seals his fate. Mitch will take him out, and it's Splyce to claim a 9th round now.
Yeah, the pressure's definitely on. You just feel naked up there. You can't really hide behind anything. You fall off, you look dumb. Got to hit that shot. And that's it. So now Liquid have a full AK buy. No ops for them. Won't be any big problem, I don't think. But they don't have full grenades. Splyce have a distinct advantage in this round. Davey going to be pushing up inner by himself. Flash comes out to shy him away. And Twist has already made his way down ladder. Might be a problem for Mitch, who would normally have the advantage as a ladder player, is now in a very precarious spot with very little support from his team. Nice.
Swings right in, though, gets the second mid-air kill, but it'll finally be Elise that's able to get down to the ground and trade him. But 2 for 1 is definitely not bad, though, inside. And now he's going to have to be careful as he doesn't expect Roku at all. He's only able to get 1 this time, though. JDM's quick on the draw to trade him out, but they've established a good precedent here now with 3v2. With the site being mostly smoked off. This will serve as a dual-edged sword, though, as this is going to allow Liquid to sneak up and try to get a plant. JDM knows for a fact he's got Davey stuck inside, and the Molly's going to stop the plant from happening and forces him into the open, where he can take him down. Stan trades onto the player over here at the edge of Speedway, but Davey will shut it down at range, with the final kill getting Splyce into double digits and only 1 away from the tie.
Yo, Splyce are insane. This is a flash that didn't actually work on Twist, but it made him turn. And then as 2 people come down to trade, that's when the advantage is back in his favor, because he's already in ladder, and obviously all he has to do is kill a falling player. So very nice hold from Mitch, and good for his teammates to be so prompt with that support utility. And in a situation where if anybody peeked out T-Gun, he was dead. So important that they moved with haste.
So now Team Liquid send pretty much all of their players, I believe, over here towards T-Con. Stan also takes a very... Actually, no, it looks like a lot of them are up top instead. They map in 3L sometimes. But we do still have at least 1 or 2 players inside of ladder room already, which means we are going to see others reroute over here towards T-Con in just a second. And get ready to try and go for a pretty quick outer execute. They've got 3 smokes to do, another probably bomb train set up there in order to force the plant. We'll see those come to fruition in just a second, as they are weighing down the CT smokes currently.
Relatively quiet here on both sides. You can hear those trains blaring in the background. Twist setting up for his smokes as his teammates plan to pop out ladder. It's the easiest route to get to the bomb. The only thing that's necessary is something to block vision off of IV, so we have the 3 train smoke set up.
CTs have mollies set up all across the site, though, so there's no way Liquid are going to be able to easily push outer and get that control. JDM's torn to shreds here, and Mitch continuing to spam into it. Drops Nitro. Drone has it on a sandwich there, so he's going to be able to take down Twist. They do succeed in getting the plant, which I think was the primary goal of this round, so they at least get that done. But besides that, nothing else is found. 0 kills for Liquid at all, despite having the smoke set up and everything. And Splyce is going to shut down pretty quickly and get the defuse.
Yeah, with a little bit of investment they made, they all earned a couple extra $100, so that's something on top of that, and couldn't get any more kills, which would have been fortunate for them, but this bonus money is going to work out very nicely. Full grenades and a little bit left over. And Splyce have made a pretty strong comeback after having only had 3 rounds in the first half. Or sorry, 6 rounds in the first half, I should say. I was thinking 3 kind of like notable rifle rounds.
Yeah, 3 rounds besides their pistol and anti-ecos, essentially. So in starting off this one here, we are going to see Liquid quickly pressing themselves really all over the map, trying to find some kind of opening here. But Semphis has already killed the Ivy player. The bomb is now going to head into T-Con, so probably going to see an outer play, but for whatever reason, they still have 3 players near ladder, so unless they're going to try to send all 3 of them out here, the bomb actually might end up going up the steps instead and regrouping. We'll find out, though, in just a second how exactly Liquid wants to play this, as I think they themselves are still trying to figure out exactly how they want to play it.
Well, they've got ladder control, which is one thing. Sometimes this can be very difficult to grab, and I think they might want to boost here. Surprised to see it's actually a Liege going up of anyone, but they don't have a vision just yet. Now it's a very powerful spot, yeah.
They're not being given anything, however. The smoke's going to be going away in a second, too. So I think just as they were backing up, Lee should have been able to see Mitch, although I don't know if he realized where exactly he was going. And they're backing away here now anyway to try and go for an inner hit. It looks like the player in T-Con might move away in a second. The time's getting low, too. They really need to commit to something here very soon. And Splyce even just starts spamming into that, as there's now no presence in the bottom part, at least, of ladder room here. So off goes smokes. They're going to pop flash down to ladder room to keep the dream alive. That is still going to be an outer hit, but definitely heading towards inner here now as everybody groups up. And they'll attempt this with only 25 seconds remaining. Bomb going down, or they're going to attempt to put it down, but they have to get through a molly first. And Davey, more importantly, who's waiting right here at the bomb train. He'll get taken down by Elish, so that clears it out. Leaves room for Team Liquid to actually be able to go for the plant, even after they get through the molly and everything like that. So now they're set up. And we'll have to look for the 3v3 here. Splyce are very quickly in position to retake. In fact, they've already got back half of the B site here as they now move through upper. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade to start. There's still a flank to pay attention to as well, and that comes out victorious for Mitch. He takes down a Liege, and Trone instantly knocks out Twist. Another clean retake from Splyce for the most part. A team ace as well this time, and now they'll take the lead over Team Liquid.
Dude, first of all, great job from Splyce to stay alive in the 5v5 for so long, to the point that it was like 40 seconds. Liquid couldn't find a kill no matter where they prodded and decided they had to execute. And then beyond that, Davey actually did a really good job on inner, so he held on to his Molotov the entire time, and they might have been able to do a better job trying to bait something like that out, but because they didn't, saved it, used it, and then when one player came out, made sure to trade on Nitro and did a really good job shoulder peeking versus JDM. Now, he couldn't find that second kill, but I thought he played the spot very well in spite of only getting 1 kill. So overall, everybody pitching in and Splyce taking a lead. Didn't think I'd see that on this map in particular. Train is a great map for Liquid, and their T side is especially notable.
And so after a quick pause from Team Liquid here, we'll jump back into it with Team Liquid being on a full buy here. 4 AKs and the op included. And they have a slight amount of cash left over on some of their players. Nothing major, though. And Splyce as well, still working with a pretty decent overall money total. They've even got the double op setup going this time, too, on the CT side. So they're in a very, very good position right now. And just looking to build upon this lead. Maybe even go for the upset outright. Liquid, however, look angry. They're coming fast into the A site here, looking for a quick plant. Mitch spamming into it, doesn't actually get anything done. It's Drone from the top train that's able to find another double kill. Roka now chiming in as well, and Mitch, too, finds the 4th kill for his team. Now leaving just JDM alone in a 1v4 here, trying to get something done from the outside of T-Con, but no opportunities are being presented to him. Splyce slowly locking down his options, making sure that he can't escape from this Olaf position. Trying to make it as clean as possible here. And there we go. Semphis just tapping away as he finally completes the flank and closes out on the round once again for Splyce.
Damn, they're getting destroyed. And that was really good. They used a Molotov instead of a smoke, so Elish took a bunch of damage coming out ladder. And then Drone from the top of the train. Obviously, insane spray control and a ton of damage to that last guy. Another rifle round where he's in like a critical moment and has to flick around and still does so much damage. So really well played. And seriously, Splyce are very close to winning this game. Liquid need to come back after half buying on this round. They'll have one more opportunity to rifle before match point and essentially the end of the game. So Splyce looking too hot right now.
The story for Liquid has really been continuing to grow here, as they've only picked up, I believe, 2 rounds in this entire half so far, and that would be the pistol and the first anti-eco. Remember, they were ecoed on the 3rd round by Splyce, who didn't even have really most players invested beyond just their default pistols. So they were able to start their comeback there, and they've been rocking it ever since. Liquid has yet to win a single gun round or eco round in this half so far. They'll try to change that now as they quickly go out from T-Con. A 1-for-1 trade to start. Drone waiting. He doesn't actually realize the second player goes across, but a quick adjustment lets him get that kill anyway. Twist will only find 1 and trying to push out from the sandwich, and that now leaves Nitro alone, and I think he was just spotted too. A shot hits him right near the backer. Almost hits him anyway. So there we go. Oh, Nitro, however, does not want to go down so easily. Quickly knocks out Roka. On a 1v2. Fortunately, one of those two will take him down. It'll be Semphis hiding on the Ivy lane. It finishes off the round for Splyce, putting them up to 14-11.
Good trade from the young guns outside. First, Mitch doing a ton of damage, getting that first kill, and Drone having to readjust his aim, but also locking down too. And now, yeah, once again, they're moving into this round. This potentially the last round. Full on buy for the half if Splyce are able to win it. This is really their time to shine. They have full kits, full grenades, have anticipated rushes, worked on slow executes, held inner, really shown their finesse in all portions of the map and all styles of play. Just got to do it one more time, basically.
Semphis is going to be sitting here. He has additional support, too, if you can't see it from the minimap. And, well, you just saw it go across the screen. But Drone is going to be helping him out here at Ivy. And he's very far forward, too. I'm actually surprised Stan doesn't take any damage at all. Drone maybe just not wanting to give himself away just yet. So he hides behind the server.
That was so risky from Semphis. I don't even know what to say.
He gets it out scot-free. Even better, Davey comes out with the first kill. Unfortunately, it's going to be short-lived. Alicia's able to re-peek and trade him, and that all happens over here towards the ramp. He'll now toss out the smoke down below there to give the team a little bit of room to execute if they want to, but the thing is, the team is not here. They're only just now heading up the steps. But Splyce already know what's happening because of the fact that they did have one player, Mitch, push all the way into T-Con. They know there's nothing there. They should know there's nothing Ivy, too, so they definitely should be expecting something towards inner very, very quickly here. They're just keeping Drone outside in the event that they were wrong about the Ivy play. And Mitch might be able to impact before they even start this as well. Goes in. He won't wait. He'll immediately jump on Stanislav and then hide behind coverage, now waiting for them to actually execute so he can be more useful instead of just pushing himself into a 1v3. Roka continuing to spam through this new T smoke. Actually somehow stays alive in that corner. Is completely out in the open at 7 HP. JDM holds against the flank for Mitch. Lige as well finally takes down Roka. So they're holding their own here. And even better, Semphis gets caught aggressively pushing forward into the mid site. And now what was looking great for Splyce before all of a sudden becomes a very big advantage for Team Liquid. Unless Drone can clutch this out. Just going to very, very slowly try to creep his way through upper. See if he can make some progress there. Gets the first kill. He's got to check his left side, though, as we aren't going to see that player peeking. Thankfully, he misses the shot, as now he's up against just 2 ops here. He'll move up. He'll have full control over the bomb, but he's going to watch on the cross, as Lige is going to be waiting for him. Doesn't check it, though, and that will be his death, giving the round to Lige.
It's a big round from Lige, and it was kind of a messy round from both sides. Mitch had a great flank, got that kill right away. I don't even think he should have waited longer. I like that he actually just went for it, just because they were about to execute, and they might have been able to get into the site. Potentially could have been more patient, but a lot of opportunities there for Splyce to definitely just close that round out easily, and couldn't do it. When he came in down the ramp, got destroyed from whoever was waiting for that flank. At that point, maybe needed to be a little bit more patient, but it doesn't matter too much for Splyce. They're going to have another opportunity here.
That would be breaking I believe an 8-round streak from Splyce, too. And Liquid now are just going to go full force into the site. Roka so far only able to trade 1 kill, and this is only a fake anyway, as they're really executing towards inner here. JDM looking for any additional pickups, too, but the smoke is going to be covering off his angles for right now. It does not stop the other players from being able to push forward, however.
What's their money? They should probably save.
Yeah, they can buy after this, but if they lose everyone, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We do see with that one player going down. It looks like they decide to back away from CT spawn. They'll call the save here, and that will put Liquid within 1 round of tying it up again.
Yeah, it's just in their best interest. They should have saved a while ago. And here it is, Liquid making sure they're cut off completely. Drone at least saves alive, but yeah, very important for Liquid here that they get all the kills, and they do find them. Also recover that op. I don't know if they need it or not, but that was pretty interesting. They managed to find a rush opportunity for Stanislav to get into the outside site. And from there, get that first kill, rock the defense, make it seem like, all right, we're screwed outside, so we've got to do a heavy rotate because Liquid are probably going to act off this. They did something fast and we didn't realize it, but in fact, it was going to be an inner hit all along, so the fake works out quite well. And Drone, oh man, Drone's been playing out of his mind these last 2 maps, but so has Lige.
This will be the first tactical pause used by Splyce so far on this map, so they could, in theory, just pause every single round if they wanted to, but...
It's a strat.
Yeah. Really icing it.
Lige is just so consistent every single game. It's like, God, come on. So boring, you know what I mean? He's too good.
As he is, I believe, leading the frag count for the entire server so far, but only by 2. It seems as though Drone has been able to make quite the run on him here in the second half, and he's now just 2 kills behind, tying him up for that title. That could be changing now, though, with Liquid kind of coming back in, finally picking up a sequence of rounds, and just 1 away from tying it, potentially taking the lead here, too. Also pushing Splyce to the end of their economy, so this is not going to be good at all because they weren't able to save those guns. You can see the sacrifices they now make in this 13th round. Two FAMAS's very limited utility across the board here. Semphis having the angle, actually has to repeat it and still misses the shot, and then gets cut off by JDM when he tries to jump off the train.
Uh-oh, that's a big frag.
So now this already eliminates the op for Splyce for 1. 2 leaves the A site very, very vulnerable without having that op presence. They're now going to try to get aggressive and peek. JDM misses his shot. Not fully dead, however. Survives it with about a third of his HP and gets back inside of T-Con.
That might be a saving grace for Splyce. It's a huge whiff from Semphis. And an opening off kill. They know that the guy, one of their threats at Ivy is down, which is a lot of information, but then JDM whiffs himself, and oof.
Mitch just caught in the open. So that's going to be an easy frag for JDM. Just off the timing of it. Now down to 3 for Splyce as it continues to remain very quiet except for the occasional op shot or attempt to fire back at the opper himself. Nothing else is happening across the map. Up until this point, anyway, where finally Liquid are going to commit to the execute outside. Roka doesn't get anything done from up on top of the bomb train, and Davy's been smoked out. It's really just Drone in the site. He needs that support from Davy. Drone, it's actually amazing, he's alive. Davy's now going to move in. He doesn't stop the plant, but he does kill the planter. Unfortunately, it's short-lived. He only gets that 1 kill and is then dead seconds later, and Elige will close out on both of the remaining CTs, now tying it up 14-14.
Don't force. Don't force now.
They have 2 guys that under 2K. I don't think they're going to do it.
They don't have enough money to do this.
I think they're just half buying.
Yeah. Nice. I didn't expect this. I won't lie. It's just, yeah, I was going to say there's like 2 situations where Splyce will force. So it's when they're down a lot of rounds, and sometimes when they're down not very many.
Yeah, we can already see players getting knocked off as they do try to aggressively push the box cells. They're not going to find anything back there except for Elige, who's already ready to take fights. If these players try to peek around and get control over the top side of ladder room, well, Elige will be waiting, probably with headshots too, with the way that he's been playing these past couple of rounds. Stan is going to have a little bit of a fight. He does see the foot of that one player, so he is kind of ready for it. But Semphis trades it, but also gets caught. I believe he was trying to move out to pick up the AK there. Twist will take him down. And now he's only 2 alive, 1 on each site. 1 is going to be playing very close up here, which they may not see that. Nitro still reacts in kind, though, and takes out Mitch anyway. So that only leaves Davy alive on the outer bomb site. Someone is moving out to hunt him down, but he is checking out of this site. Now trying to go in through CT, seeing if he can align himself for any kills in the inner site. And if not, that will put Team Liquid up to map point first.
Nice couple of previous rounds from Liquid. They've cleaned up. They've changed the tempo quite a bit. Have focused on getting away with a couple of lurks, doing things quickly as well. And although Splyce had answers for a little while, Liquid on the adjustment and so close to closing out the game in the first place are in a pretty good spot. And I guess we have a attack pause at the moment. I'm not sure for who. Could be for Splyce. Oh, it's actually for Liquid. Interestingly enough, missing the kicker.
This will be it. This goes all the way to round 30. So it is time to figure out if Splyce can win at least 1 more round and take us into OT, or if Liquid has indeed fully taken back their control over this matchup and will be able to close out in 2-0 fashion, continuing to push them further and further into the top 6s. I believe yesterday they were able to push themselves into it, and now are just looking to more so secure that position at the LAN finals.
I really would like to be able to see the money for Splyce. Oh, okay. I guess they've already made their buying decisions. Let's see, they had 4 round, basically full loss on top of the round they saved, so they have lots of money.
They should have like 6K or so.
They should even have an op, yeah, they do. Yeah, they're doing great. This is a great round. So happy for them that they decided to save. It's got a couple of kits, all the smokes they need. This is it. It was a big comeback. It was a tough road back to 50, and it was unlikely, but they got so close. They've made some good economic decisions, had some stuff to show for themselves on CT side. All right in the world to bring this OT, but by that same margin, Liquid have done equally well in this half and have shown prowess in their ability to adapt. So,
thank goodness Semphis wasn't peaked more, because that could have been bad real quick.
Hey, that could be a mix-up, you know. Everyone's opting for the player to jump over.
Said he just awkwardly stumbles off the run boost.
Runs through the middle of your screen, like, looking like Postmates logo.
Mitch is also potentially going to be challenged here in a second, too, as he holds aggressive control of ladder room that we've become accustomed to seeing more and more from the CTs, so there's no reason why Liquid wouldn't expect for a player to be down there. Probably going to double molly it, looks like, in a second here. Or at least have a leash through his. Or maybe not. Besides that, though, Liquid are lining up for essentially just the outside default. Because they have the two guys on top of ladder room, the two guys at Ivy, which I think one is actually going to move towards T-Con, and then obviously the other guy in T-Con 2 to make it 2 T-Con total.
42 seconds left. They haven't made moves. This is looking pretty solid for Splyce.
They've been pretty good at getting the opening kill before, like prior to this point in the round. I think the problem is they haven't gotten that yet, so they've been a little bit timid on making the move because they don't have that 5v4.
Does Mitch want to give it up like this?
Oh, no, he doesn't. Nicely done from Mitch. Completely counters the totem pole, and look, he's got the bomb now too.
Oh,
Only 20 seconds remaining. Team Liquid now have to completely scramble to try and get kills, but look at how slowly they're taking this. They cannot do this slowly. They have to go full throttle into the site or they're losing it. Twist gets 1 kill, but they still need 4 more, and they have 10 seconds left. There's the second. Semphis goes down here too. They can't plant the bomb though. They're not going to be able to get it back. Mitch still holds ladder control. That's it. Stan will hold on. He'll keep this AK, but the round's over, and Splyce are going to tie it up at 15-15.
I'm so impressed. That was sick. That was a really nice play from Mitch as well, playing his spot to perfection, just creeping up the last few moments. You wonder if you played that and it was kind of dangerous, would that have been an opportunity there for Liquid to not only get ladder, but just like a free kill right away? But maybe had an idea of what they were going to do based on how he approached that. And man, was he right. But damn, they did it. This is a new Splyce.
They've done it with SK, and now they're going to have to try and do it again with Liquid here, taking their opponent into OT. They'll want to close out. Remember, guys, the MR3 is going to be the rule set here, so 19 is going to be the winning number of rounds that you need to get yourself to, and it will be 16K start as well. Yeah,
this could be difficult as well. I think it's definitely true that the more experienced team will have some kind of advantage in OT, their ability to change it up. But I don't know. It's been back and forth.
And we can get an update on the stats. It was all on a leash before, and it seems like that's still the case here, as he was the only player to hit that 30 bomb. Drone, however, very close behind at 26, but only with a 77 ADR. It's actually Mitch that has the most on Splyce.
Yeah, no, we saw this like 2 and 3Ks from ladder be huge, and drone on the outside site was very important too. ADR definitely doesn't tell the story for this team, but does show you, at least for the first 2 players, like who stood out the most. Yeah, ops haven't had much impact. Semphis and JDM lagging behind.
JDM keep it up a little bit at least, but Semphis unfortunately.
58 ADR is failing. That is, in some schools in America, that is straight up failing grade, and it's the same with ADR.
I mean, in most schools, it's a failing grade.
Not in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, it's below 50.
I think my school was under 65.
That's how I was able to get to one of the most prestigious schools in university. By staying well above 50.
Well, it looks like we're live again, folks. Splyce versus Team Liquid, if you are just joining us. It is in OT for the second map. Liquid, and this is after Liquid kind of destroyed Splyce in the last map there, too. I think that was 16-4 or around there as the final scoreline back on Inferno. This time, obviously, it's very different, and Splyce could, in theory, win it. We have the auto sniper coming onto the board, too, as they won't go for the double op setup, but they will bring the auto sniper along with the op this time, and it'll be equipped by Davey. Into this too. Liquid, they are going to push themselves actually pretty much completely towards box cells here. They do have a 2-man setup on Ivy that's probably going to come in a little bit later though to distract, or actually earlier probably, but the main bulk of their fighting will be done on the inner bomb site as they have the 3 players ready to commit here.
MR3 16K, so I definitely encourage as many auto snipers as possible, especially on train. It's just it's so good on this map. So if there ever is going to be, you know, an infinite money advantage per side on any map, it'll be train, in my opinion.
Here to get the first entry kill, and attempts to trade have not been met with much success so far. Semphis trying to look for the player of bomb train, but he just can't lock him in. So he has to go away without firing out the shot. Changes position to the back of the site. And they'll be working with Roka to maintain this control too. Splyce still have everybody except for Davey alive, however, so still a possibility to retake, but those chances are going to be dwindling more and more as JDM now picks up the second kill. was lagging behind in regulation, but so far he's the only one getting kills for his team as he just opens up all these opportunities and certainly making it easy. Twist and Stan with 2 more kills here, and that leaves only Semphasis alive. With him taking that melee damage, Elysian knows for sure he's hiding out right behind the tanker. He'll close out in clean fashion and give the first round in OT to Liquid. Oh,
couldn't have come more clean than that, and it doesn't matter by what margins they do it, but wow, what a shot. So Davey is just straight up B-hopping, and all these players just jumping into his scope. So he goes fly fishing. They are switching heavily from a double scope setup to a no scope setup.
I don't think that auto sniper fired a shot. It definitely didn't hit anything. It's Mitch. Well, he's going to be tested early on here. Nitro tries to go for very fast control of ladder room, and fortunately for him, it does not work out too well. Mitch is sitting on the outside waiting, and look at this from Twist, way too aggressive. Roka is waiting for that one, and he's even going to get a second kill here now too. Semphasis and Roka shut it down after that. Liquid trying to force their hand on the other side. It does not work at all, and Splyce immediately retie it back up at 16 to all.
It seemed like a weird decision by Liquid, just like jumping, flying through a smoke, not even while it's popping, but like well after it pops. Well, these players haven't fallen back at all, and just a very simple hold. Roka wasn't even flashed, I guess, until too late. So got those last 2 kills blind. But easy recovery for Splyce after such a dominant win in the first round from Liquid.
Looks like nade usage in general was a little bit off time there, and that could be part of the reason why Liquid failed so horribly in that round. But we'll see if they can now recover. Definitely not going to be going as quickly. And JDM, not sure if Semphasis had gone up and he saw him there, but definitely suspects something near that train, so he's going to be keeping his eyes trained just on that. Misses opportunity on the cross and tries to go aggressively to the right side to spot him in the corner, but again will miss his opportunity when his opponent crosses back into the Ivy tunnel. Davey, however, will come out on top. He gets a close-up shot this time here by Ramp and is able to take down Nitro early on, giving Splyce a 5v4 advantage to play with.
JDM tosses a smoke out into Sandwich and has been able to find kills just sitting in T-Con for extended periods of times from different angles, which is mostly a series of missteps from the CTs. You would hope not to see that, like too many dry peeks from the rifles. Whoa, Stanislav running out into a Molotov.
We could still have all this utility, but instead of trying to go for dry entry kills here, Mitch, as a result of that, will be able to trade for one. He is stuck alone, kind of on an island there by the trains, though no support available. Drone is able to trade a kill back from back behind the bomb train, and Twist is now going to move in to continue testing that. Gets one, ends up switching away. However, but Splyce will be able to close out with those last couple of kills. They take the lead off the first half in OT 17-16, meaning if they can win 2 of these 3 remaining rounds, they will take control of this map.
Nice, that was solid hold outside, and I think that's been a big reason their CT side has worked out so well, is outside is the harder site to hold, and yet their outside players have been all pitching in and doing a great job. Mitch and Drone, outside in particular, holding their spots to perfection. So now we have a 2-1 half scoreline for Splyce. They'll need 2 rounds to close this map out, and if they split rounds again in favor of Liquid, we'll go to a second OT. It has been a week of OTs. Yesterday we saw 2. I think both ended in triple OT as well.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Hopefully for the adrenaline of both these teams, the game ends sooner than that.
Well, we will jump into it here now, and Splyce have the advantage, and they'll have to continue with it onto the T side here. The music got a little loud on us there.
Eyes wide.
They tried to throw us a fast one. And Splyce will now go towards the back box halls here, very quickly setting themselves up for an inner hit. And they're not going to waste any time on it. They go right inside. No utility used. Stan misses his shot, and Roka decks down to the ground.
Everyone's got a plan until they get hit.
Semphasis is also going to be holding this corner here, but Nitro was either able to spot him or suspected that he would be back there. So trades that kill back, and now this is a bit of a peculiar position that Splyce is in, as they don't have control of either of the exit points on this site right now. Davey moves in, killing Nitro, though. They would still have to deal with a Liege on ramp, and that's the one thing they didn't account for. JDM is going to walk right into another kill on Drone, too. Flicks right onto his head to take him down. Just 2 remain for the Splyce side of things. Davey.
Use that smoke, dude. Oh. He's in an awkward spot. He's still alive, though. Oh, he can't find the first kill, but he gets 1. It's actually a very winnable 1v2, but the bomb isn't planted for Elite. Isn't planted for him at all.
Yeah, it's planted on the complete other side, so it is a very...
That's really weird, because if they're planting the bomb I don't like that. They planted the bomb so that they could push up and then play the after plant from CT, but then they had Sempis watching the big flank, which is he's by himself, so you assume he's like really trying to make sure, number one, they don't get flanked, but also protect their after plant spot, which he's not doing because whoever put the bomb down decided not to plant default. And then you have your last guy alive who comes down and really can't even play for it at all. So that's weird.
Well, that does tie us back up here now. Remember, Liquid, if they want to close out here, they do need to win all 3 of these rounds. They're going to start this one off well. Elige able to just keep peeking in, getting kills. Stan now finds another one here as well, taking down Drone. Nades destroying Sempis' HP, and finally, some spam from Twist will close out on that kill, leaving only Davey alive. No bomb control, no control of the map in general, just holding out instead of T-Con right now. He'll be flashed into a corner. They know he's sitting back here. He holds for the frag against Nitro, but won't get any farther than that. Elige takes him down, and it's Liquid up to map point.
Yeah, and they could actually pull off the 3 in a row. Fortunately for Splyce, they're going to have another opportunity to buy, but that was tough. They tried to do a fast execute. The counter nades were a little bit better than they were in regulation. They tried to do a similar strategy with a heavy focus on T-Con. That didn't work out. This time it did previously, but it's a little bit tougher when you know that the other team has full utility. They might expend some of that to deny anything early, just in case.
So now Splyce will split. Default outer setup currently. Obviously with the 2 guys towards box making noise, they can just go right over here towards the top of the ladder room. So able to hold that control there. And the 2 at Ivy at the moment, not really able to establish too much of a presence here. Even actually backing away just to make sure that no one from Liquid tried to aggressively push them. But this time, at the very least, we're not seeing Liquid immediately tear Splyce to pieces, but that's primarily because Splyce have decided to play this very slowly. They all sit back.
They've got five smokes, 3 Molotovs, and Liquid actually are down to just 2 Molotovs, or 3, but they have no smokes whatsoever. So Splyce doing a pretty good job in the early round. Again, heavy focus on T-Con, and there won't be too many counter nades to use. Stanislaw, is he in a position to make this difficult, though?
It's good smoke setup. So Lee is actually going to be the one that will have to look to do some damage here as they initially push out. You can hear them. Oh, wow. It's decked down to the ground by Drone. Twist did have better luck, however. Him and JDM were both able to pick up kills. Nitro trying to find the planter. Doesn't do that, but he does get a little bit more damage on Aroka, who's now just going to fall back behind E-Box. It's a 4v3 on the retake. Liquid have already done great damage to these Splyce players. They get the plant, but they need to look for some kills, and that's going to be a good start with Roka knocking off the head of JDM and Heaven. Stan with a quick peek, though, kills the E-Box player as he still holds that ladder control, can swing out for one more, and now only Sempis remains, and he too is going to fall to Stanislaw, which means that we'll see that easy defuse roll in and a 19-17 scoreline to decide the second map here. It was a great comeback from Splyce, but unfortunately they were not able to hold on in OT, and as such, Liquid do take it, and they'll take home a 2-0 for the evening. Yeah,
with 3 opportunities to get to that 15 scoreline, and the first one that would have resulted in a save for Liquid, they couldn't close it out, and an OT fell a little bit short to a strong CT side by Liquid. Heartbreaking loss, but at least it was an OT, so they get a point.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have the analysts standing by once again to break down the map, so let's toss it right over to them.
Hey, appreciate it, fellas. Look, guys, it's almost like an inverse scenario we have on our hands, right?
Just like the SK game, actually.
Yeah, except for Splyce didn't actually win any of them.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Ultimately, there were no W's to be had there.
Launders was saying that Splyce get a point for losing in overtime?
Is that correct?
No, I think it's the winners get only 1 point, right? So if you win a normal game that's not in overtime, you get 3 points. But if you win an overtime game, you only get 1 point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you don't get any points if you lose in an overtime. There's no benefit.
There's no participation award.
Yeah. This is, yeah.
Not middle school?
We don't do that anymore.
Listen, guys, several talking points we could have here across train. Let's actually just start with our first replay. We've got round number 8 loaded up here. Is a nice outside exec from Splyce.
So it's kind of interesting that we're looking at the overview here, but the point I want to make is that Davey's fighting at E-Box before the smokes land, right? So what he's doing is he's getting information on how the CTs are set up before the smoke wall goes down. Because if that smoke wall goes down before anyone even, any of the Ts enter the yard through T main, then the CTs basically get the indicator of the hits coming, and it becomes easy for them, right? The fact that Davey's running out as the smokes are going out with flashbangs, he's getting a lot of info, so it makes it a good hit. It's a very simple approach, but you basically have to have somebody on your team that has the balls to go out there, you know, somebody who's not basically a stat whore, right? Who's going to make the strategy work, right?
It works because a lot of times when you see the smokes coming over, the CTs are preparing counter nades. So just a small cool thing we saw from Splyce that shows that, you know, maybe they seem more comfortable when they have space on a map like Train versus a map like Inferno, where even though they, you know, took SK out in overtime the other day, it seemed like they're just more comfortable with their execs on Train.
Yeah, and obviously the result shows to be much different than the previous map where, you know, it was a 16-3, I believe it was. Either way, we're going to move on now to round number 10 and recap this one really quickly for you. It's a teammate push here by Liquid.
Yeah, so Liquid decides a good time to get aggressive on teammate, and they use their nades in a very appropriate pattern. They kind of luck out in the sense that Splyce had mentally committed to going outside early, and that you can see that by having the bomb over at Ivy with 110 remaining, right? And Splyce is like, oh, we're getting pushed team main, 2 of us died team main. Now we basically have to commit outside. You can see that by them pushing out Ivy with the bomb right when this happens, right? Theoretically, you don't have to commit outside when that happens, but you kind of do, right? You've been split.
It becomes too obvious.
Yeah, if you fall back and then you go 3 inner with 20 seconds remaining, you basically have no chance. So they almost force their hand. They force them to commit. Right? They don't know the bombs at Ivy, but they kind of luck out in the sense that that's what they end up doing.
Yeah, it sucks that Splyce isn't able to go 1 for 1 there. So.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately, I think the story could be said that, you know, they were forced into choke points, and then a lot of times it was Splyce that would find themselves taking a 1v1 they would lose that could cost them, you know, around here, there, which all intents and purposes was a much closer match.
Yeah, but it's kind of goes to the trading ability of an op, right? An op kind of has like a lower ability of trading a kill, and that was the second guy in team main is he had an op, right? And he got slowed down by the nades and the flashes. And
the other guy's just forced out.
Well, we're going to take a look now at round 17. That's the next replay we've got loaded up here. A full save by from Splyce, somehow, some way.
Yeah, so Splyce basically wins around where they have no armor. It's not a full save in the sense that they have some CZs and a Deagle, but, you know, I feel like I've seen this same round play out against Liquid multiple times this season already, where they lose against a full save on Train on their T side. And going back to it wasn't in an off angle, but it was another one of Launders' videos. He shows how different teams play their anti-eco rounds outside on T side. And it just seems like going slow on the T side against an anti-eco is sometimes not the best way of doing it on Train.
Well, yeah, because that's why you'll see the common strategy is, right, let me spot team mid push, everyone run down ladder. Actually, Launders' Train video on his Boxer channel shows a really cool dynamics of like how you could take anti-ecos on Train. But yeah, it's same thing happens on Inferno too a lot, where people try to like push pressure B while they're pressuring mid. Sometimes it's better just to group up and take things with force. So at least some decisiveness from Splyce shown on this map, which was cool. But that round not particularly.
Not working out particularly in their favor, so to say, I guess. But we'll look at round 26 now. This is the last replay we have loaded up. But really bit of an over-peaking here from Splyce.
Yeah, well, this is kind of reminding us of like the Inferno thing where, oh, actually, this is the end of the replay. Something might have got messed up there. But anyways, the beginning of the replay shows after they plant the bomb that basically what happens here is Splyce has a good chance of winning the round, and this could have been 15 for them, I think it was. So that just sucks because in that context of that round, it was the same thing where they're retaking again, and one guy peeks oil Train and goes up and dies, while one guy's still sitting back waiting for the push. One guy, Z, after he dies, oil, he runs out Z, gets killed back pop. The other guy's back. So it's like Splyce, the theme of their team seems to be slightly half-baked, right? Like they need what do you think?
I feel like when they're in those situations where it's like hard to visualize it, like that's the problem, is that they're not all on the same page of like what everyone's doing and why they're doing it, right?
So it's as simple as you don't think...
Like there needs to be almost like an IGL who steps in during these like contextual situations and is like, yo, we're going to do this all together. You guys push and like, because they're not all visualizing it together, it seems like.
So I think that's actually not a problem in the moment. I think that's a preparation problem. It goes back into discussing situations that might occur. So it's a pretty common situation. You can't discuss every situation. You have to be realistic. I actually don't like when lower level teams try to talk about every scenario, but what you can talk about are retakes and like 3vx situations. So when you're retaking a bomb site like Inner, the basic protocol, I think, is 1, don't get isolated in any one of the 3 lanes, right? You got sidewalk, right side bomb, left side bomb, 3.5 lanes if you count like the side of oil. don't progress up any lane alone unless that lane is open because your other lane is fighting. So if you have two guys going up sidewalk and you know the bomb train guys are looking at sidewalk, push up oil. So I actually disagree with you in the sense that I don't know if they necessarily need a leader. I think they just need outside a better practice kind of thing to make sure that their protocols are on point.
Well, having a contingency for everything is just not realistic, right?
Yeah, but the basics.
Yeah, but the basics are there before it turns into theory strike. Either way, the way this one breaks down is a regular win is 3 points, an overtime win is 2 points for the winning team and 1 point for the losing team.
Oh, so you do get 1 point.
So what happens here is if you lose in overtime, you then take a point away from what could be the winners, making a 2-1. So it's not an all-out loss if you lose in OT. But looking at the schedule, as we are sitting at match day number 20, I mean, it's some do or die time here. That's always going to be the story, especially as things start heating up towards the playoff race. But what do you see here, guys?
Well, Liquid's kind of separating themselves a little bit from the 4th place. But 4 through 6 still looks pretty close. Like, what is that? CLG, Luminosity, Misfits. So those guys all look like their next couple matchups tonight are going to affect a lot. So makes the matchups.
And what's going to happen next matchup? Can you tell us about what might happen next?
I can tell you what's going to happen next, but I can tell you that if you miss it, you can find it at youtube.com/ESLCS, where you have all the VODs and many, many, many more, including this one that we're going to have going into the next matchup, where we're going to be we're moving you up to the big leagues, Jordan. We're going to put you up the bat, and by that,
don't sell yourself short in the big leagues. We're all in the big leagues here.
You're right.
But I'm going to be doing some color commentary, and I think I'm going to be over there with Blue, right?
Say again?
Launders is going to come here, and you're going to go there.
Yeah, so we're essentially trading you guys out.
I'm going to be there. If you don't like my voice, go ahead and wait till it's over. If you love my voice, stay here. And if you love just quality, just overall content, just stay.
Well, how about if you love Cloud9 or the Renegades, make sure you stick around and you don't go anywhere, because those are the 2 teams that will be here when we come back from this break. We've got Cloud9, we've got Renegades squaring off on 2 maps, so make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.